Worldwide Hippies presents Hippie News and Stuff with Winston Smith and the Worldwide Hippies News Team.
Welcome to Hippie TV News and Stuff for the week of February 14th. Brought to you by WorldwideHippies.com, citizen journalism on the web. We're all Winston Smith. Do dead people taste like chicken? Well, we'll find out. The only difference between Eric Holder, Attorney General, and a used car salesman is a plaid suit. The doc is in, that's a fact. Ed Croft on Degeneration Nation. Mikel K.Takes my time. Do you believe in magic? Hippies all sticky, our asshole of the week, and more. Top story. Special announcement from the founder of WorldwideHippies.com is put on hold until Winston Smith's lawyers can review his new contract, and his new assistant co-anchor gives hippie woman her parking spot back. That will be the one next to mine. On to this. Eric Holder of the 1%er Spit Bucket announced last week 5 big U.S. banks accused of abusive mortgage practices have agreed to the $25 billion government settlement. Eric Holder of a winning ticket to Wall Street when he's out of office with corporate toady U.S. Housing and Urban Development Secretary Sean Donovan announced that the federal government and 49 states attorneys general have reached a $25 billion agreement with the nation's 5 largest mortgage servicers to address mortgage loan servicing and foreclosure abuses. Mainstream media, aka the fucking banks to begin with, report how wonderful it is and it's about time and glad Eric Holder is on the job and on with the accolades. Hippie TV News must be the only ones with actual Google on their computers. A few facts we found out that you should know are the $25 billion sounds like a lot of money until you find out that for $25 billion, the banksters got at least $700 billion, and they're still counting. What media and the Justice Department call mortgage abuses is actually fraud. Eric Holder has evidence of, get this, 1 million instances of fraud, each a major felony. Although $25 billion is what the banks agreed to pay, their total cost will be less than $5 billion. The other $20 billion is a reduction in interest and principal payments to speculators who own the loans now. But don't dampen your pillow yet for the 1%ers. $20 billion is just a drop in their spit bucket compared to the $2 trillion these speculators and banksters are now guaranteed they will collect. If the banksters and speculators were held to the law, most of the now legally fraudulent mortgages would be worth nothing. Eric Fetch and Catch Holder has made sure what's really worth nothing in the United States is justice and fairness. That's a fact. And here, with some little-known facts, is the doc.
What's up, Doc?
Good morning, hippies. Paz in El Barrio. Winston, thank you so much for the kind words. Well, Bugs, of course, as ever, you know how we do. If one spends as much time afloat on the seas of dreck and rhetoric on the inner tubes as I do, one encounters regularly the shrieks of bloody, furious outrage and betrayal when someone posting something somewhere or another finds that the proprietor where the post was hung up unceremoniously has deleted it. Why, no, I do not really have a life. Why do you ask? The howls of fury, disappointment, and civic-minded disgust can reach fever pitches.
What about the First Amendment?
The affronted bellow.
It's a free country. I got a right to say what pieces of the Constitution, for God's sake.
Well, no, sadly, unfortunately, you don't. It ain't. The Constitution offers no bar, no restraint on the private censorship of words or images by private interests on proprietary media. When it happens, the First Amendment can offer no relief. Folks appear sometimes to have forgotten or perhaps have never learned this. I don't know. First Amendment only stipulates that the state may not exercise prior restraint upon speech in public, though there's the Holmes fire exception even on top of that. And it does not say that a person cannot be prosecuted for speech either. But in any case, it doesn't apply to all private restrictions on speech. That's why ABC could have fired Howard Cosell a couple of years ago, and ESPN could have run off Hank Williams, and MSNBC could run Oberman off too. Your speech in a private forum is only as protected as the owner of the forum wants it to be. As the brilliant and legendary journalist of the 40s and 50s, A.J. Liebling, remarked one time, hippies, the press is free if you own one. Have a great day. Bye. Back to you in Hippie Central, Winston.
Thanks, Doc. In fact, thank you very much. And this, Bradley Manning has been nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize, and Hippie TV News and Stuff has a new reporter. Both are very big deals. Bradley Manning couldn't be here today, but making her debut on Hippie TV News and Stuff is assistant co-anchor and threat to my job, Wendy Starr. She has a music review for you.
Thanks, Winston, and greetings from the Windy City. Oh, have I got news for you. Bruce Springsteen is back. The boss is releasing a brand new album called The Wrecking Ball, available in stores on March 6th. We've got an exclusive preview. Are you ready?
We take care of our own, wherever this flag's flown. We take care of our own, from Chicago.
Well, maybe our expectations are a little high, considering he's a rock legend and all. Many think that maybe the boss's reputation is going to be wrecked by this new album. Should the boss's representatives have taken care of their own by asking him to put a little bit more effort into his album? We'll have to wait until March 6th when the full album releases to form our opinion. Well, look at it this way. If the album fails miserably, there's nowhere else to go but up. For more information on this album and Bruce Springsteen's new Wrecking Ball tour, please go to brucespringsteen.net. Winston, back to you.
Thanks ever so much, Wendy. Sorry I had to rip the big stories away from you, but you earn your way up the ladder here, sweets. And I am still in charge of the news, remember that. By the way, I take 1 sugar with my coffee and a little cream. Now here's Ed Croft, and he's still pissed off about something.
Oh, hey, Winston. How you doing? You know, I want to just talk a little bit more about this whole thing with Ellen DeGeneres and JCPenney and the Million Moms. I saw the rebuttal that Ellen had, and I thought it was very well done. As she pointed out, the Million Moms is just 40,000, but I guess they round up. You know, in the end, though, it's all about hate. It's all about not liking what somebody else is doing. And I think it's kind of hypocritical when you stop and think about how many people are saying we need smaller government, we need government out of our lives, we need to be able to make our own decisions and everything, but then they're the first ones in line to say, accept them. You know, what the hell is that? Accept them? You know, why? Why should you care who someone else loves? All that matters is that we love. Jesus gave us that. He said, you know, I give you 1 commandment, love. But we're too busy hating. And worse, we're going into the Bible to find reasons to hate. Or to justify our hate. Be careful. You go in that Bible, you may find there's a passage in there that says, if a woman wears man's clothes, take her outside and stone her to death. Those Million Moms better not be wearing pants. Yeah, I don't get it. I want to believe that we're becoming an enlightened society, but it seems we're going backwards. We hate more than we love. And that's not the way it should be. Look, I'm all about love. And I don't care who somebody loves, just as long as they love. And I think that's the way we all should be. I'm not going to condemn you. And I pray you don't condemn me. It's not our place. I love you all. My heart to your heart. One heart, one spirit. Back to you, Winston. Love you, man.
Thanks, Ed. Moms always did like you best. And here, with the best way to shorten my FaceTime, is the Mikel K. Minute.
Hey Winston, how are you today? I don't know how long I'm going. Somewhere between 1 minute and 3 minutes, okay? Anyway, we're at the Cecil B. Day Butterfly Center at Callaway Gardens, somewhere in Georgia. A lot of beautiful things here. We went through the building that you see behind us and interacted with the butterflies, became one with the butterflies. My friend Ernie had a broken arm. I was really bummed out, you know. And I was bummed out to learn that butterflies only have about a year life expectancy. When we were kids, we used to make butterfly nets out of our mother's old stockings. We would attach them to metal coat hangers and then get an old broom handle, and we'd make us some, we'd go catch butterflies, you know. Anyway, I'm going to do a couple love poems. I may have done these before, Winston, but, you know, I've got a small mind here, so. Anyway, this is called To Show Me the Stars. It's one of my favorite. I want to do it every minute. To Show Me the Stars. And it was about Scout, my daughter, when she was about 7. There's nothing to calm the fear of a day full of creditors who can't be satisfied, dunning letters that can't be replied to, except for a walk in the dark to the store for ice cream with a dog happy to see me, and a daughter who brings a flashlight to show me the stars. And then one about my son. He was about 8. It's called Art Opening. Each time he rides his bike away, he gets further down the street. Can I go see the twins, he asks, and he's off again. Can I knock on their door, he asks. I say no and explain that I'll have to leave soon and that he won't be able to ride his bike much longer. He's 7, not 8, 7. And as he rides away this time, I realize that one day he may be riding away to college or to a job, and that I won't see him every day. And I think, well, maybe I don't have to get to that art opening on time. Winston, what do you think about that, buddy? Back to you.
Thanks, Michael. How time just flutters by. And this, have you ever been relaxing in your living room or daydreaming of some faraway island or driving down the road when all of a sudden the thought just pops into your mind, hey, I wonder what cremated human remains taste like? Well, wonder no more. Casey says they taste like rotten eggs, sand, and sandpaper.
My name is Casey. I'm 26 years old.
According to Jezebel Online, a 26-year-old widow who admittedly is having a tough time coping with the loss of her husband after he died suddenly from severe asthma, Casey had an immediate and unhealthy attachment to her husband's ashes, carrying them around with her everywhere she went, including to the movies, shopping, and even making meals for the ashes. But after she accidentally got some ashes on her fingers one day and feeling bad about just wiping them off, she decided to, you guessed it, lick them off. Since then, she's been unable to stop eating her husband's ashes. Casey says the ashes taste like rotten eggs, sand, and sandpaper, a combination she's grown to love. In 2 months, Casey has eaten about 1 pound of the ashes. There are only 5 pounds to her husband left. Despite the fact that the ashes contain a combination of chemicals from embalming fluid which actually cause psychosis when ingested, Casey's biggest concern is that she will eat the ashes until they are all gone, and then she won't have any to hang out with. While her mother knows about her addiction, no mention was made of whether or not Casey's late husband's family knows about what she's been doing with his ashes and how they might feel about it. The only question left is what kind of wine goes with cremated people, white or red? Surely nothing dry. Now, time for our new series, Good Cop, Bad Cop. Meet Rockwell County Sheriff Deputy Kevin Rovin. He spotted a vehicle in the water sinking before his eyes while on patrol a few weeks ago. Rovin broke the window and rescued 2 women from the chilly waters. Driver Ning Do was talking on the phone and didn't realize she entered the lake by driving down a boat ramp. When she attempted backing up, the car just floated away. Not only did he save the 2 women, he never even ticketed the driver for talking on a cell phone while driving. Rockwell County Sheriff Deputy Kevin Rovin, good cop, good man. Now meet Milwaukee, Wisconsin police officer Mikel K.Takes. He raped a teenager who had called 911 to report somebody had tossed a brick through her window. Instead of investigating the vandalism, he took the now 19-year-old and forcibly raped and sodomized her. He will be sentenced in April, and hopefully life in prison. Milwaukee, Wisconsin police officer Mikel K.Takes, bad cop, bad man, bad person.
Okay, last time. This is your brain. This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
Do you believe in magic? Do you believe in magic?
Thanks, Winston. Hola, hippies. It's another crazy week. It's just Fukushima, Japan. Cesium pollen has finally started attacking Tokyo and other cities on February 9th, 2012. Because this winter is colder than unusual, it is about 1 week later than average, and the peak is estimated to be in early March. Because of the first week of February was extraordinarily cold, pollen didn't fly much, but it started flying when it became warmer. The pollen is estimated to contain 250 becquerels per gram of cesium. Forestry agency, Japanese government, and mass media are downplaying the risk, of course. I will provide a link for that. Japan's situation is just ongoing. The number 2 reactor, the temperature is increasing. There are reports out where they're actually talking about blowing a hole in the top of the reactor to add water to help cool this down. They're saying the molten fuel is moving, but it hasn't broken containment yet. I'm finding that very hard to believe. The radioactivity is spreading, and the rivers are becoming more polluted. There are reports where they're actually dumping the radioactive ash from all these incinerators that they're burning the tsunami debris from all over the country into the rivers, and of course out into the oceans, and the effects thereof. Hawaii is basically waiting for the tsunami debris to hit, praying that it's not radioactive. They're quietly testing for radioactivity in Hawaii, trying not to put alarm bells out to that. And just to know that this debris field is the size of the state of Texas, and bear in mind that it's going to be so thick that they're talking it could be clog major seaports on the western coast of the United States and Canada. So heads up, everybody. We're in for a bumpy ride. Thanks for your support. Back to you, Winston.
Now, adhering to her own high journalistic standards is Hippie Woman.
Hi, Winston. When you buy something, whether it be electronics or a toothbrush, there's always a price tag. There's always something on the product, the label. If you're lucky enough to get it in a box, then, that's cool. You can just go about your business. But if you buy something and there's a big, ugly, sticky tag on it, but when you peel something off and the whole thing disintegrates, half of it comes off, the other half's like, oh. You get a nice journal. You buy it from the store. There's a big half-price bookstore sticker stuck on it. I don't know if you manufacture these things for a living, if your company does it, please get the word out. You're just destroying people's sanity. Really. It's on the inside of shoes. It leaves this gooey deposit of adhesive every time you put your heel into the shoe. It's gross. It's on cars. You buy a car, that's bad news. Beautiful art project made out of wood. Big old price tag stuck across the bottom of it. A small sander wouldn't remove that residue. Gross. I have a personal traumatic experience to share. We had a funeral, family funeral. Unfortunately, I needed to help choose the casket. We chose one. It was an informational card, laminated thing stuck to the coffin with information about the product and stuff. At the visitation, I noticed this residue they were unable to remove it. It stuck there. Well, I go to pay my respects, forget all about it. I had this elastic skirt on, and I go to walk away from the coffin. The skirt is stuck to the side of the coffin. By the waistband, I get about 5 steps away, and I stop because I'm being jerked back. I look back, my booty is exposed in front of my great Aunt Doris, my pervy third cousin, and my deceased grandfather. And I'm wearing a thong. Big old thong. You're ruining people's lives with the adhesive problem. Back to you, Winston.
Thanks, Hippie. Stick with me, sister. I'll get your parking spot back. Oh, I hear it's time for our Asshole of the Week. And this week it goes to corrupt New York Supreme Court Justice Justin Rockbach. For the slap on the wrist he gave Jason Arbini. Brooklyn South Narcotics Detective Jason Arbini was found guilty of planting drugs on a woman and her boyfriend, falsifying police reports, illegal detention. Basically, this was a very corrupt detective, an asshole in his own right, and a big crybaby too. Arbini broke down in tears at his sentencing last week in front of the corrupt judge. I can't look at myself in the mirror anymore, Arbini told corrupt Brooklyn's Supreme Court Justice Justin Rockbach. Sir, I am begging you, please don't send me to jail. Corrupt Supreme Court Justice Justin Rockbach, who has a long history of being a corrupt judge, applied the third justice rule. You know, one type of justice for the rich, one type for the poor, and one for corrupt public servants. Corrupt Supreme Court Justice Justin Rockbach sentenced Jason Arbini to 5 years probation. Corrupt Supreme Court Justice Justin Rockbach has laughably said on different occasions, I have broad shoulders. I am not your typical judge. I do what I want despite popular opinion. To that I plead guilty. Well, maybe someday after the revolution, corrupt ex-Supreme Court Justice Justin Rockbach can plead guilty when he has to account for his corruption. But for now, corrupt Supreme Court Justice Justin Rockbach is Worldwide Hippies Asshole of the Week. Well, that's it for this week. Thank you for watching. Please visit worldwidehippies.com for more real news and stuff from our own writers as well as news from around the globe. And while you're at the site, check out our store as well as your chances to get Worldwide Hippies gear free. Most of all, share, comment, email, and bookmark worldwidehippies.com so we can keep up the howl for peace and justice. And you will see the Doc, Ed Croft, Wendy Starr, Mikel K. Poet, Nibiru Magick, Hippie Woman, and yours truly, Winston Smith, here next week.